everyone. So you've now seen my new project, my personal project, and one for me. Means a lot to me, and I'm just going to run through what we're actually going to be doing with this. And it's sort of exciting because I've built many cars, never really involved anyone on the outside too much, and sort of wish I'd started YouTube thing a bit sooner, but here we are. So this is a bit exciting because I get to walk you through every single thing we do to this car, step by step and little bit by little bit. So this video is a little bit about introducing to you the upcoming mods and little duct tape fixes sort of thing that we're going to be doing to this car ourselves to turn it into my dream car. So we're going to start the interior here first. The interior is actually pretty good. The roof line's been done before. It's actually had the interior painted in a nice black. Actually, it's been done well. It's got some Statesman bucket seats in it, new carpet. They've painted the dash black. Now, I'm not a fan of that. The idea is I want to go back to factory original, sort of how you'd buy this as a bit of a luxury model off the floor. We got this sort of nice wood grain steering wheel. It's quite nice, but it's not really my cup of tea. So we need a center console, keeping the bucket seats. The dash we're going to paint back to the original color, which escapes me at the minute. And I wouldn't mind the GTS steering wheel, but it's actually also got the color coding going on. So ideally, here's a picture of what the interior is going to look like. And once we have it like that, then that's sort of the interior complete, really. I don't think there's much else to do. I wouldn't mind a GDS dash, but I think that'll come later on down the track. So expensive, those things now, not like a few years ago where I bought one for like $280 complete. They're talking about $1,000 just for fascia nowadays, sort of thing, about the gauges. So maybe that'll pop up in the future, but that's not a priority at the moment. I'm not too fussed about that. But we've got to paint the dash, so we're going to be doing a little segment on pulling all this out and painting plastic. The door cards I'm not sure about yet, whether or not I try and just paint them as well, or we actually just buy reproduction ones in the colour I want. So that's pretty much the interior. Yeah, apart from that, it's actually quite nice. It could be just very past the way it is, but again, we want to build into what I want to drive and what I've been yearning for so long. So that's the interior. Let's move on to the next bit. So the mighty baby iron line, I call it. We have 253 blue motor. Not known to be the most powerful thing on the planet, that's for sure, but it makes all the right noises and it moves along okay. Some can be pretty much a freak engine, where I've known some little 253s to go harder than some 308s, but I'm not sure where this one falls, but we're not going to worry about that too much. In here, what we're going to be looking at doing is probably, wouldn't mind getting in here and pulling apart the front end and painting all the inside guards and underneath the bonnet in the actual colour we want to do the outside, so we make that all look neat, nice and tidy. I've actually ordered another carburetor. This is a little 2-barrel 350 Holly, but it's been plated off and it actually sits on top of a 4-barrel manifold. So I was trying to get hold of my old Rochester Quadrajet, but I really didn't want to bother trying to get it back, to be honest. I gave up on the idea. So I've ordered a brand new 600 Edelbrock 4-barrel, which will bolt straight on. It's a spread bore as well, so that will hopefully fix up, because this is leaking fuel all out of a little the bearing joints where the arms are coming out. It's probably in pretty sore condition, so it's just easy to put a new carby on. I want this to be quite a reliable driver. Once we get a few things sorted out, we'll probably look at new fuel pump and upgrading the dizzy and all that sort of thing as well. First things first, which will be a little project we're going to do pretty much first off the bat, is we do have a noisy lifter or two in the engine. So we've got actually before we put the new carby on, we're going to unbolt all this, pull the actual intake manifold off, pull the tappet covers, pull all the push rods, and try and remove the lifters while everything's intact, so we can actually put new lifters in. Whether or not that's going to work or not, we don't know, because sometimes they can carbonise and get a bit stuck, but we're going to give it a go. While we've got that apart, I wouldn't mind sandblasting the intake and the rocker covers, and we'll put them back to a like a Holden, like a factory blue sort of thing, similar to it. It's hard because paint numbers and everything, and that is starting to get hard to find. So I'm just going to see if I can, I'm just probably going to go and mix my own colour, to be honest. Like, there is a colour one company does, and they suggest that's a good match, so maybe I might just buy theirs and just be done with it. It's going to be close. So that's pretty much the first thing we're going to really be doing to the ute is try and put new lifters in, paint everything on the top, put a new carby on, and then see how she runs. We'll probably want to replace the water pump soon too. Wouldn't mind doing the fuel pump like we said, and a new distributor cap and rotor button, just to tidy those things up and give it a bit more reliability. So we might get excited and actually get these bracketries, bits of bracket done too, actually make them look a bit nicer. But as for mods and things like that, I'm just going to really wait and see how she runs. I've got no real clue about its history. It's got big pacemaker extractors on it, so no real clue as to what it's got, whether it's cammed or anything. So I'm not chasing big horsepower, I'm just after reliability and drivability, and sounds good really. So, and that's all 253 really is. So so that's pretty much under the engine bay and all we're looking at here. So we also do, I think I've been noticing the actual master cylinder's weeping a bit too, so we might need to get a new one of those. But bit by bit, engine and noises first, and then we'll sort that out next. Alright, next on that list is the body. The body we can probably get stuck into in a couple of months roughly. And I've had a lot of people commenting, oh, it looks so cool with patina the way it is and that sort of thing. Like, I get patina, but to me it looks like a shit box. It's not my dream ideal car until it looks like what I want. A lot of people get a bit scared because they're a bit afraid to take on a project and they can't get it finished. I finish many cars, so it doesn't really scare me. It's just hard work. You just get stuck in and get it done. So pretty much what we've got to do, a little bit undecided how deep I go yet. I sort of feel like we might be blowing it apart panel for panel, just to make a proper job of it and make it look nice. I don't want to cut too many corners for saving one day of work really. So I think we'll probably be pulling the front apart so I can get to those inner guards and paint the inside of those easy, and probably get to the firewall a bit easier to paint that as well. I'm not pulling the firewall or engine out or anything apart. We're just going to try and paint around things as they sit, but having the whole front end pulled apart allows better access for that and painting the guards properly and stuff. So I think we'll do that to make it look really nice, because it will be a good finished product then. So blow the old entire front end apart. We're going to paint strip everything, and we're going to body file it all so we get it all straight and hammer and dolly what we need to. I'm actually going to keep the hole. I welded that up in my first WB and got rid of it all together, but maybe I'll weld it up. I don't use a radio anymore anyway, but I sort of like the idea of the old school chrome aerial coming off here, to be honest. We've got to weld up all these holes where the original bumper strip used to be. Got no chance of finding a new set of those, so I might as well just weld them up. Might weld up these holes with the mirrors too and get rid of them. So when I find some new mirrors, we can just start fresh and make new holes for those when I find them. I'm not sure what we're going to go for yet. I wouldn't mind even going back to a first set I had on my first WB, which is an XY GT set. Nice little teardroppy looking things. They did look cool. Other than that, I'll probably try and get the factory WB looking plastic ones We are missing some chrome trim here, but I think I'm just going to grind those heads off and just be done with it, because it's not going to find that chrome trim. But there's no real rust, it's just a few dents and things in it, and a bit of a curvature there. We've got this bent, crumpled bit here, but I've got a phone number to a bloke I'm going to ring and see. I might just get a cut and just bring the actual panel back here and cut down and replace that corner. It's probably easier than trying to straighten it, because I'm probably going to distort the rest of the metal going that way by trying to pull this straight and hammer it out too much. We've got a new tailgate with no holes in it, so I'm going to be painting that soon. I've actually ordered the paint for that, to do a test run so we can show you the colour and for myself to have a little look at. We'll get rid of all these holes as well, because I don't really like tarpaulins. When I've got nice shiny paint, I really don't like the idea of a paint rubbing on it. But another part of me goes, it does create a lot of work having the welding up these holes, because it can distort the metal and crinkle it a bit. So, but we are body filing, so not sure about that. So I'd like to find nicer bumperettes, but that's going to be pretty hard. Maybe we can get them re-chromed. But yeah, apart from that, it's just welding up and smoothing off really. It's no real rust. Like I said, the cowls are actually in really good condition. No rust holes, nothing like that. They did this weird thing to a bonnet intentionally. Apparently they paint stripped it and gave it a patina look, because that's apparently the cool thing to do in the B&S world or something like that, he reckoned. So that's about it. But yeah, we just got a bit of a dent up here, but I can pull that out, so that'll be fine. And we're going to go a nice deep dark burgundy metallic colour, which is a factory option back in the 80s for these things. So it's called Venetian red. So that's the colour I've ordered from a paint company. So it's called Hammer. Used a couple of their colours before and been pretty happy with their quality, so thought we'll give it a go, and if I buy one sample, then what I buy off them in the future will be the same. So we'll paint the tailgate and that and just see what that looks like. Alright, next on the list. Yep, wheels. Big part of a story for this car. We wanted to create a bit of the old look that I used to have. So I found these not far away from where I live in absolutely mint condition. Like, I was going to kick myself if I didn't get these. Virtually, well, no rust really. Center caps, hell of a washers to them. Near brand new tyres. Funnily enough, these tyres here are an actual 245. So I'm actually thinking, and brand new as well. So what I'm thinking about doing is swapping two of these. They're all 14 by 8s, but two of them have a slightly different offset. The rear ones are a bit deeper in the dish and the front ones are a bit shallower. But what I was going to do was take these 245s off here and put them on the rear ones. So I've got 245s on the back, and I'll leave the other 235s on the front. So to give a little bit more of that meaty look that I sort of like. So that's pretty much all of what's happening with this car. Really, it's actually quite a good project. It's not too involved. It's a little bit more in the bodywork, yes, but once we get stuck into that, we can probably knock it all out in a week. I'm planning on having a bit of time off over Christmas to try and really get stuck in it, iron it out and get it to paint. And the exhaust system, it's running a twins into a single 2.5 dumped just near the diff. I want to go back to a sort of like what they did in the old days, which was just two single 2-inch exhausts with hot dogs on them. So that's all we're looking at doing for exhaust. Just then there's the chrome tips hanging out the back, which I've got to find. I've been struggling to find them actually. So, but that's the actual plans for Woody for WB. So if you want to tune in and watch all that, please do, and we'll give a bit more of a detailed build on this one. We're going to show you how we do every single step. A lot of these cars, they can be a bit frustrating because you sort of come in along the journey and and there's some things I don't want to show either because too many keyboard warriors out there. So this one's a bit more of a resto, so I'm going to be more than happy to show you how we weld up the holes and body file and restore the car technically, and project manage is an important bit. So yeah, if you want to join in, hit the subscribe button and come along.